Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. I told y'all the times that we're living in. I mean, it's crucial that you understand, right? This is fulfillment. This is the year 7. We got till 2025 to get this thing together, y'all. Look, Tran, Lunar, Lunatic. Let me show you why. This is a mass shooting. We're going to talk about Tran, the gunman, right? Authorities believe 72-year-old Tran was a man who killed 10 people and wounded 10 others at a Lunar New Year celebration in Monterey Park, California, Saturday night. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna, right? Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Lunar, Lunatic, said Tran was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after finding his body inside a white van. They also recovered a handgun from the vehicle. Now, you can't write this. It's showing you warning signs. When the sheriff's last name is Luna, Tran, 72 years old, he completed his mission. 72 is 9. He shot up 10 people. They want to know why, and I'll tell you why. But they want to know why did Tran shoot up 10 people, wounded 10, at a dance party. He also said that 20 to 30 minutes after the shooting at the Star Ballroom Dance Studio in Monterey Park late Saturday, which left 5 women and 5 men dead and another 10 people injured, a man with a gun entered the Lala Ballroom in nearby Alhambra. Police believe the two events are connected. Luna said that a male Asian suspect entered the Alhambra club with a firearm and that people wrestled the gun away from him before he fled. Now we know that Tran shot himself while sitting in the van when the SWAT teams moved in on him. You may ask, what is going on? Right. Well, let me explain. When you hear someone says God came in person, that means that everything else doesn't matter. The old ways was true at one point in time, but if God is in person now, you don't need the old ways. There's a new way of thinking now. There's a new attitude now for the time that we're living in, because somebody has to come and bring forth new knowledge and information to evolve us into the new time. And we still doing things in the old way, which why we're not getting any results. That's the deal, right? Now, let me explain why. Right. It says, and this is discovered, why do we still believe in lunacy during a full moon? They said we're celebrating the lunar year. It's sometimes called the Transylvania effect. In a dark sky, the clouds shift, revealing the full moon's eerie silver gleam, and the people on earth below go mad. It's a story that gets repeated by doctors, teachers, and police officers. The science, though, says something different, right? It's the science of a full moon. Blaming the full moon for strange behavior is a time-honored tradition. In the 1st century A.D., the Roman philosopher Pliny, Pliny, suggested that the full moon caused more dew to form, which led to increased moisture in the brain, and that, he said, led to madness. Let me read that again. The full moon caused more dew to form, which led to increased moisture in the brain, and that he said led to madness. Why am I saying this? The sergeant, California, his name was Robert Lunar. Lunar represents the moon. Lunar, Tran was celebrating at the lunar event, and he became a lunatic and went around and started shooting people. There was no motive on why he did it. 72-year-old man, and he had that much time left on the planet. He lost it. Right? That's a sign. Lunar, lunatic. I mean, you can't write this stuff. The idea that the full moon makes people crazy didn't go out of fashion along with togas. Through togas, though, in the 1700s, a British legal expert and judge wrote, a lunatic or non-compos mentis, mentis, is properly one who had lucid intervals, sometimes enjoying his sense and sometimes not, and that frequently depending upon the changes of the moon. The word lunatic, by the way, comes from the Latin luna, moon, right? Lunatic comes from the Latin word luna, moon. What was the cop's name? Robert Lunar. Who Tran Can became a lunatic? What were they celebrating? The lunar year. I mean, you cannot write this stuff. In the 1970s, a popular book posted that just as the moon controls the tides, its gravitational pull affects the fluid sloshing around the human brains. Even today, you might hear stories about classrooms of students misbehaving and people getting hurt and freak accidents around the full moon. But there's one big problem with all these theories, right? He's saying that they're not true. For decades, researchers have pored over hospital records and police blotters, and time again, they've come up with the same answer, right? Now, and it's not. Now they saying it's not quite clear why the superstition where the superstition came from in the first place. But in defense of believers of lunacy, the moon does exercise some influence on Earth. Of course, the moon exercises influence on Earth because the moon is the reason why you're gonna have rain, snow, or sleet. The moon draws up that vapor like water up into the clouds because the moon once had water. It's trying to regain its water back to itself. And then if it's hot outside, that moisture, that dew, that mist rains back down on the earth in the form of rain. If the temperature is below 32, it's coming back down as ice, snow, sleet. So what are we saying? Right? Hugh Tran Can, the lunatic, shot up 10 people on a lunar year and was investigated by Sergeant Robert Lunar. I mean, go figure. It's telling you something. It's telling you to look at the times we're living in and just sit back and watch all the crazy stuff that's going on. People are doing all kind of things. Why? Now, this is me talking. I believe that people have lost their way because their foundation or what they believed or what they was rooted into is fading away. And either through traditional means of their spirituality, they don't want to let go and adapt to something that's new or something that is made for this time because change is hard, or they don't want to peer pressure, they don't want to upset their families and family members because this is the way grandma and grandpa did it. But you got to realize people had to do certain things for the time that they was living in. Today is a new day, so there might need to be some changes in the way we're doing things. I don't know. But I mean, you cannot. I'm still baffled over the fact of the three Lunars in this story. Sheriff Robert Luna, Hugh Tran, the lunatic who carried out the lunatic actions, and they were celebrating the lunar year. Right? And they stated that full moon, right, draws that water out your brain and turns you to a lunatic. This lunatic and lunar been going hand in hand for centuries. I don't know. You tell me on Vropic Radio. Reminding you all, Vegan Vibes is coming up. Check out my latest movie on grindcity.biz. That's grindcity.biz. I want you all to go check that out. And it's so much, man. Tell your friends about Spreaker, the Vropic Radio Show, because on this show we go where no one is willing to go. And we see what most don't see. And then we share it with you guys right here on Vropic Radio. And it don't take us a long time to get to the point. Because within this story of Hugh Tran, the point is, was the moon responsible for turning a 72-year-old man into a lunatic at the beginning of this celebration, the lunar celebration, that is being investigated by Sheriff Robert Luna. Go figure. Vropic Radio, we're out.